Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whenever you are watching this, my spirited living friends. I may have to pause momentarily and cough, but hopefully not. I've got allergies, cold, I'm not quite sure what it is. But it is spring and it is May and flowers are coming out. I have my flowery top on today. And the goddess I've chosen is all about growing things and actually much deeper than that. So, Deborah Roth here at Spirited Living, back with another Inner Goddess Team video, reminding you, encouraging you to reconnect with your divinely feminine self. And we all have that, whether we are male or female, doesn't matter. When you go to the YouTube video, you'll be able to, because this is always on my YouTube channel after I record it at Instagram and Facebook, you can click on a little eye in the corner, and that'll give you a whole other short, sweet, beautiful overview of what I mean when I'm talking about the divine feminine. What are those qualities? So today is certainly a very embodiment of one, the goddess that I've chosen for today, and was kind of surprised that I hadn't done her per se, and I'll explain that in a minute. So, but I have referred to the Greek version of her. I don't mean to be mysterious. So, when I was looking around for who might be a good goddess to do at this time, and sometimes it's just sort of whoever wants to come in, other times I connect it with the energy of the season or the month or whatever. And this time it actually turns out that there was a very well-known, beloved festival called the Ambarvalia in Roman times that honored the goddess Ceres. And it was itself a very sacred fertility rite that was performed, or one aspect of it was performed at the fields to ensure that as seeds were planted, Ceres was the goddess of seeds and growth and agriculture, that they would grow to fruition over the growing time, over the summer. So Ceres, which many of you know, and this is why I was alluding earlier to the fact that I had done something with her at some point, in one of her faces, is actually the Roman iteration of Demeter. Demeter from the Greek, from ancient Greece, Demeter, which means Demeter, which is Earth Mother, and any of the goddesses, and they were basically all of the Greek goddesses that the Romans co-opted, that they absorbed once they conquered Greece, have obviously many of the same qualities that their Greek counterparts had. So, and just with different names. Ceres, if you see how it's spelled, it actually is the origin of the word cereal. So that gives you a hint of another connection to her agricultural origins. Now, I did actually do very different kind of Inner Goddess Team video for Demeter, her Greek counterpart, back in May of 2021. And I talked a little bit about probably the best known myth about Ceres / Demeter, is the journey that her daughter makes to the underworld, in the form of Persephone in the Greek version, and in the form of Proserpina, or the Kore, the Virgin, in the Roman version. So you can certainly look in that. I will put I'll put the link to that video from 2021 in the YouTube description. I will tell you it really focuses on Demeter / Ceres persona as the grieving mother, because very briefly the story is that she and her daughter, excuse me, in the Roman version, that would be Ceres and Kore, or Proserpina, excuse me, are very close. And one spring they go off dancing in the fields, and Proserpina explores an area away from her mother, and she and as I explained in that earlier Demeter video, she is abducted, or else she goes willingly, is the feminist version, to the underworld with Pluto / Hades. And the time that she is gone, Demeter / Ceres doesn't know where she's gone, and she mourns, and because she's the Earth Mother, all of the vegetation on Earth begins to die, and eventually they negotiate her coming back. So definitely the Reader's Digest version there. You can hear a little bit more about it, and certainly read. It's one of the richest, most beautiful, I think, of the Greek and Roman myths. And you can see that in that earlier, and hear a little bit more about the mourning, grieving mother aspect of Ceres / Demeter in that 2021 video. What I will tell you about her is that this particular festival, the Ambarvalia, excuse me, is one of several that honored Ceres, because she really was, I mean, as the myth describes, humankind could not exist without her, because she provides sustenance to them, for them. And so she is celebrated in this Ambarvalia, and there were secret rites in a lot of these. And so there isn't a lot known, and particularly that women performed. There's apparently one of the rites they've found somewhere that they're streaming, tying lighted strands to the tails of foxes, and then they were let loose in the Circus Maximus. So that's one of the kind of secret things that they did. One of the not so secret things, and I see this more in the Roman version of a lot of these myths of the Greco-Roman combination, is that several different animals were sacrificed: a bull, a sow, and a sheep. And they're led 3 times around the cornfields. This is in the Ambarvalia, because the idea is to invoke Ceres so that she will bring a fresh crop, a fresh full crop. And then a sickle is bound into the earth and maybe even used to sacrifice these animals. And the idea is that the yoking of the she was credited with spelt, but also which is a form of wheat, which is as well as corn. So a couple different things. And she's known to protect. She was called upon in the plowing, sowing, and nourishing of the young seeds. She is the mother of the young seeds. That was her gift to humankind. She had the power, I loved this, she had the power to fertilize, multiply, and fructify plant and animal seeds. And her laws and rights protected all activities of the agricultural cycle. So in that aspect, in the Great Mother aspect, where she honored and supported all those, and a lot of them were the plebeians. They were the farmers. They were the lower classes that were actually the ones that were connected with the earth. So she was particularly sacred to them. They would call on her when it was time to plant the cornfields and all of those. The other big, well, there's several big festivals, but the other big one that I thought I'd mentioned somewhere, but apparently not, is Cerelian, which happens in April. And that's another one of hers, where there's games for Ceres, and it's a 7-day festival that honors Ceres. This one, the Ambarvalia, is the one that's really for the planting of the seeds. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you about that side of her. Now, the side that I alluded to in my Demeter video from 2021, the Mourning Mother side that tells the story of Demeter / Ceres and her daughter, was actually captured in probably one of the most sacred rituals of that time, which were called the Eleusinian mysteries. And there's a whole story. When Ceres / Demeter can't find her daughter, when she's first been abducted or first makes her descent, she disguises herself and spends time in a town called Elysia, something like that. And so they're referred to as the Eleusinian mysteries. And basically what they were about is reenacting this whole story, which is how we know so much about it today. And what it did, and I loved this piece. Oh, shoot, I left it over on my desk. There's a wonderful book called Asteroid Goddesses, which highlights the four goddesses, which include Ceres, Juno, and Vesta, which were all... they were all sisters, and then Pallas Athena was a fourth one. But it's a wonderful book that talks about their influence in astrology, but also describes and reenacts some of these wonderful myths. And from that, there's this beautiful description of how important the initiation rites of the Eleusinian mysteries. They were major initiation rites. They addressed, and I love this is right from there, they addressed humanity's fears and concerns about death by allowing the initiates to traverse the passage between death and rebirth during their earthly lives. The idea being that the direct experience of the eternal continuity of the seed, from seed to growth to death and then to rebirth again, offered the participants a guarantee of life without fear of death, of confidence in facing death. So that's why it was really one of the most beloved ones. Again, I think my focus on the Demeter video was more on that side of her. But in all of these stories, and you can't talk about Ceres and Demeter without acknowledging that she was this major goddess of mothering influence, mothering relationships, earth mother, obviously, agriculture, corn. I will show you. This is one of the first plaques, goddess things that I ever got. And you can see she is holding sheaths of corn and serpents, because serpents have long been a symbol. People freak out about them, but they've actually long been a symbol of transformation, of death and rebirth, because they shed their skins and come back. So, and she's got all kinds of plants and things, I think, in her headdress. So that's my very old, very beloved depiction of Ceres that I have hanging in my office. So call on Ceres. She is a good one to reach out to. Literally, if you're planting anything, anytime that you want to grow from seed to fruition, or from small. I just planted a bunch of little tiny impatience flowers, not the seeds, but they're just small. But I know that by the end of the summer they're going to be probably about 5 inches taller. Anytime you're doing any work with the earth and you want support, that's an obvious one. The other big way that you can call on Ceres energy is to help you bring something, not just plants, something to bring something to fruition, maybe to, as a teacher or a parent, a way of nurturing, of nurturing something that's important in your life. So I will leave you with anything else I want to say to you. I think that's it. As always, I would love to hear, some of you may be initiates of Ceres. I'd love to hear from you. Any additional thoughts, you can put them in the comments. As always, if you like this, please subscribe. You'll find out about future ones coming out. And I'm going to share with you a song, a chant that I've done several times here. I think I have enough of a voice to do it, that I've done a few times here, because it's one of the first ones that I learned, and it really is a beautiful celebration of Mother Earth. And some of you listening to this have probably sung it with me in circle. Hi, Barbara. I think you probably have. It goes like this. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. The earth is our mother. We must take care of her. Hey, yana, ho, yana, hey, yan, yan. Hey yana ho yana hey yan yan, her sacred ground we walk upon. With every breath we take, her sacred ground we walk upon. With every breath we take. Hey yana ho yana hey yan yan. Hey yana ho yana hey yan yan. So go out into this beautiful spring. The Ambarvalia was celebrated on May 29th, which was yesterday. Of course, as I always say, no matter when you're watching this, you can call on Ceres, create your own little Ambarvalia, or Cerelian, which happens in April. But you know that you can call on Ceres whenever you need her particular gifts and support and protection and nurturing. Thanks so much for being with me, and have a beautiful week. Enjoy, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoy these beautiful spring days. Namaste. Bye for now.